Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 19 Week 11 BearCave games. We had a great set of sim games as we got Missouri going down to Kansas State, a couple other fun ones, but we are 3 weeks away from conference championships. Our schedule currently is right on par with real-life college football. Week 12 will be on Saturday, which is Week 12 in real life. But as always, this is the SFA. It's an online dynasty ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You can jump in at any time, claim an open team, set your schemes, and build your way to a national championship through server games and recruiting in the Discord. You can check out links in any of our descriptions. Feel free to hop in at any time, and if you want even more content from the SFA, we have Patreon at patreon.com/the SFA. And if you are watching live, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you use that Twitch Prime sub so you don't miss out on any of the action. And during the intro, we got Florida Man telling me to eat shit, motherfucker. 15 months 10-month streak, thank you so much. And Cam, 21-month streak, hell yeah, the Beanie Babies. I put Boo, Fat Boy Boo, because Missouri was a team I was loving this year. It was such a great story, and you ruined it. And for what? You're 3-7. You didn't have to do that, Florida Man. You did not have to do that. But yeah, some big wins here. I gotta see Cryo. I gotta see the Beanie Babies versus Cam. All right, gotta see the Beanie Babies versus you. It's the perfect chance for Scotty Bean to stat pad. But as always, this is BearCave. It's the 10 best games of the week. We'll jump in and sim to the end. If they're close, we'll hop in. If not, we'll just keep on going. And then we got some action tonight. So make sure to stick around for game day. And then always we have recruits to wrap it up. So going to be a lot of fun. We'll start out with a banger. Here, two very active users. We got Coach Cam taking on Coach Cryo. Not much in terms of national relevancy, but bowl eligibility and bragging rights. Remember, 7-5 is always the goal. So Cam, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. You are the away team, and let's get this spread going. Illinois is a 3-point spread. One of the best ways to get involved in server games is participating in the polls. You can build up your Bobanos and redeem them for raffle tickets at the end of the year for an 80 overall player. So make sure you guys do participate. And it's just kind of fun to have some skin in the game while you're watching. Cryo, let me know if you want any specific jerseys. I mean, your options are really only white or red. So, but Cam is going orange helmet, blue shirt, orange pant. All right, so you'll just go normal. He's gonna go with the orange, and he wants a blue shirt and an orange pant. All right, here we go. Heads and receives. The Beanie Babies love to receive head. So here we go. The first game of Week 11. Remember, 3 weeks left to conference championships. Some divisions, we are starting to know what's going on. Some divisions are completely fucked up. So it's going to be very, very good. Oh, baby, here we go. Oh, we've got a color rush here. Blue versus red. Alabama 4-4, trying to get themselves to a bowl. Arguably the worst defense I've ever seen in the SFA has come from Alabama this season, and Illinois wants to receive head. Jarkus, you and I will be simmed halfway through this stream, so after the 5th or 6th game of the stream. So here we go, first quarter. No score early on, and Alabama scores first. Oh no, if Scotty Bean can't even score against Alabama, not like this. 7-3 after 1. Come on, where is the defensive explosion here? There you go, touchdown. Oh no, it's going to be close, isn't it? Oh, there it is. 17-24. There's the offensive explosion we were waiting for. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, no. Here comes Alabama, though. Scotty Bean, don't give up. Oh, no. Can Cryo get back into it? All right, we go to the fourth quarter. It's a 10-point game, and a field goal is no good. And Alabama can't get it done. We're going to go back and forth here. Remember, we can only jump in if it's a one-score game. And Alabama, they do! They get it! So now, can they get the stop? They do. Oh, my gosh. It's currently a cover for Illinois, but how long will that last? Here we go. 2nd and 7. Alabama to start the BearCave stream. Can they come back from 24-7? Newton does nothing there. Will be 3rd and 1,000,000 now. Some late night or some late season non-conference action. Newton, 3rd and 11. Over the middle, it's caught, and that'll be a first down. The Beanie Babies giving up a nice play there. Luther Carey over 130 yards now. 3:03 for Jeff Newton. All right, so they are approaching field goal range to tie this game up. Can Cryo do the unthinkable? 3-man rush. He yams it to the flat, and that is caught by Nate Slater for 5 yards. Time not really a factor here. All 3 timeouts for Alabama. Already inside field goal range. So trips to the right-hand side. Danley Edson in motion, the SFA tight end. Another 3-man rush, another throw to the flat. They're just dinking and dunking. An out route, not even Sauce Gardner can cover. First and 10. Jeff Newton over the middle. It's caught on the slant again. Nate Slater. Back to back to back from Slater. So first in, or no, they are calling it 2nd and short. But now they're threatening the lead here. Jeff Newton can give them the lead with a touchdown. They run it, and that is RJ Irons, the SFA IGR. Sorry, Kenzie, they're doing the thinkable. First and 10, handoff. Oh, it's a keeper for Newton. He has room. Oh, he runs through him. Touchdown, Alabama! And once again, the tackling woes for Illinois rear their head. We saw it early on in the year, and here it goes again. So 1:08 left for Scotty Bean. They need a touchdown. Arlo McKeever, the leading rusher in the nation, had a fumble today along with 3 touchdowns, 191 yards. But at this point, you can't really just sit there and run the ball. You got to rely on Scotty Bean. Hostile crowd. Can the Beanie Babies get her done? Dumps it off to the screen. If you can't run it, the next best play is to screen it. Clock is now running. 10 of 20 today here for Scotty. Bean RB. Time ticking away here. They continue to make adjustments. Scotty Bean dumps it off, and that is going to be only about 1 yard. So they've taken about 30 seconds off the clock for 1 total yard here. This is not going too well. Dumps it off again to Arlo McKeever. He gets out of bounds. So all that for a 4th and 5. 4th and 5 for the Beanie Babies. Game on the line. Scotty, free blitzer, and he hits his man! Oh, look at the bean! A quick flick of the bean, and they're right back in it. Fringe jam range here. 20 seconds left. Scotty floats it to the flat, almost intercepted! This offensive line not doing them any favors here. Split backs. 15 seconds and a dream. Scotty Bean. 4-man rush. He yams it deep left-hand side over his head. That was the chance. They have 2 plays left here. You got to get about half of it. Remember, they need to go to the end zone. Third and 10 for the Bean. 65 yards away, the screen pass. It's Arlo McKeever. He breaks one. He breaks a second. And he can't get any more than a yard. So here we go. Illinois channeling their inner Tucson tragedy. They had a 75-yard Hail Mary just like 7 years ago. Can they get another one here in Tuscaloosa? Scotty yams, knowing to the turf. That's gonna be the ball game. Alabama gets it done, the outright victory. Alabama 28, Illinois 24. Congratulations if you bet on Alabama. You've got balls of steel. Yeah, Scotty Greenbean not doing too well. It looks like he might be losing his job here soon. Is he officially going to bench Scotty? That's the question. He's going to flick the bean. Flicking the bean to the bench. Very nice, very nice. We'll have to see. It will be an integrity hit, but... it's whatever I said last time, Cam. So 28-24 as we look. 3 touchdowns for Arlo McKeever. RJ Irons got into the end zone. So Scotty Bean, 14-27, 164, 51% completion. 42 carries for Arlo McKeever. It's been all McKeever this year. Gunter Tall, 14 pancakes. 2 TFLs for Xavier Rankins. 3 sacks. No interceptions. 2 deflections. And the forced fumble for Nealon Mack. Jeff Newton, 21-35, 324, 3 TDs today. RJ Irons, 28 for 150. Luther Carey had 138. Rock Hard, 12 tackles. The SFA player, 8 total TFLs. No sacks, though. They couldn't get the bean on the ground. 3 deflections and the forced fumble. So that will do it here from Tuscaloosa. 28-24 is your final. That is a Bama outright victory for those of you guys scoring at home. As always, got to get my players of the game. Of course, my snip crashed. So, Bama outright victory to get us started here tonight. A bit of an upset. All right, now we go on over to the Mountain West. Very critical game here. Boise State had a bit of a downer the other night, but they have a chance to get a cross-divisional game here. So, Coach Dune, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a 4.5-point favorite for UNLV, Cryo's former team. So you're going to be rocking with Major Pibb and Boise State, or are you going to be rocking with Parker Towns and UNLV? Let me know. Dune did not put jersey requests, so let me know if you have one. But number 25 in the nation, UNLV, still has a chance to get back to the playoff. Or to the playoff. I don't think Cryo ever made it with them. Come on, somebody's got to put more money on this. This is an easy pick. All right, here we go. So funny every time I look at Jahan Dotson on here. All right, the number 3 offense in the country. Surely they don't drop one here at home. Surely. This is a prime UNLV down spot. If you know anything about the history of the SFA, you know UNLV is about to fall off a cliff. But is Boise State gonna keep sucking? That's the question. Here we go. First quarter action. Quick score for UNLV. 14-0. Oh, it's 21-0. Parker Towns dragging them all over the Las Vegas Strip. 21-7. Can they battle back? Oh, a quick score for Boise State right before half. That might get them in this game. They get a field goal there, 35-7. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, the score's going ballistic. UNLV is going to wipe the floor with them here. 56 burger here on BearCave. Oh, we got 63. That is a UNLV cover, an emphatic cover. Where was the defense? I don't know. By golly, by golly. 63 here on BearCave. Major Pibb, 19 of 33, 242, 2 tutties, 237 yards and 3 touchdowns for Mario Hankerson, and he still loses by that much. That looks like an Ashton Genty stat line. So 2 TFLs for Jonathan Marshall, no sacks, no interceptions, 2 deflections, and no fumbles. And for UNLV, Parker Towns gets 6 touchdowns on the day, 461 yards. He also was the leading rusher here over Rush Kinghorn. And Kinghorn was the leading receiver, so everybody getting involved here today. 2 TFLs for Tomislav. He had a sack. 3 fumbles and 3 recoveries. Yo, Vladimir Tomislav, the SFA player. UNLV still has a very outside chance of making the playoff. They still have to hope that Fresno State chokes a game or that they beat them outright, which I just don't see happening. So I think Cryo leaving makes a lot of sense. When you're in a one big bid league here, it's really tough, especially when you have somebody like Kennelly, who just farms reward players. All right, next up, we've got Tulane and Texas State. So Cryo or McNasty, or not Cryo, Coco or McNasty, let me know if you're here, heads or tails, kick or receive. This is an 11-point favorite for Conference USA. Let's pay this one out first. All right, so you rocking with the best defense of all time at Texas State, or are you rocking with Tulane? Some would say too lame with the hiring of Coach Coco, but Alright, so I don't see them in chat, so Fi, if you want to pick, kick, or receive, we'll jump on board with you. He wants the white helmet, maroon jersey, and the white pant. So Texas State and UTSA once again on that collision course for the division, and in Tulane, kind of the third wheel in that conundrum. UTSA pushed though to OT this week, but this upset would be massive for the Conference USA race. It could lock Texas State out of the conference championship. Yeah, McNasty is the head coach at Tulane, but he also has Coco on his staff, but I don't see him in stream. So here we go. Texas State and Tulane. (5-0) in conference versus 6-2, and look at that defense, 11.6 a game. By golly, we've got rain. Tulane may not score a point. Except, wait, they're waves. Maybe they'll be better in the rain here today. So here we go. Battle of the offenses that can't score. 7-0 for Texas State. 14-0 there. So they've already scored enough. Time to go home. Thanks for coming out, Tulane. 21-0. 28-0 here at halftime. They get 3 on the board right before break. 28-3. Shout out Falcons fans. And that should do it. Thanks for coming out, Tulane. Let's hit the showers. 35-3. Nothing more but the final score needs to be tallied. 42. We've got another splattering here, and that is it. 42-3. That is a Texas State cover emphatically here. Not even a sniff of a cover there. A.O. Clement, Hunter Marshall, Tubi Slutes. It just rinse and repeat. They even let the backup Will Taylor in there at one point. A.O. Clement, 130. 3 touchdowns here for him. McIntosh was the leading receiver today. Austin with 6 tackles, 2 TFLs, no sacks. 4 total interceptions for the defense. By golly. 4 deflections. They had 1 fumble as well. So 5 total turnovers here for the defense. Congratulations. Tulane, E.J. Johnson, 13-34, 169, 3 interceptions. He must have gotten benched. 84 yards on the ground. Yucky, yucky, yucky. 12 tackles for Weldon, 2 TFLs, no sacks, no interceptions. 2 fumbles, 1 was recovered. Thanks for coming out. So, Texas State with the cover. Ayo Clement, what a grab from the Denton Fatties he has been. He's filled that role very well for Blaze Hollister. And we move on. All right, next up is a critical AAC matchup. I believe this is for the lead in the division. Which team wants to get splattered by Cincinnati? We've got Pitt and Coach Mills, undefeated in conference, taking on Rutgers, who somehow finds a way to get it done every single time behind Juice Cobbins. This is a 4-point favorite for the Pitt Panthers. Let me know which way you are leaning. Are you at Team Mills or are you at Team McKenzie? No, there's not an option for neither. You got to choose one of them. 2 of the most well-loved coaches in the SFA, of course. I put Kenzie instead of Rutgers. My bad. I was talking shit about Kenzie before I even put it in there. Same strand. I should have put Cobbins instead of Rutgers because it is just Cobbins. It's not a team. It's Cobbins against the world here. So here we go. A lot of money on the line here. And surprisingly, both top 10 defenses so far this year. So a bit surprising. We are at Heinz Field. This is actually the site of College Game Day this upcoming week. Very interesting pick by Game Day to actually feature non-SEC Big Ten teams 2 weeks in a row. Heinz 57 and French fried tomato. Here we go, Kenzie. Let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. You're holding me up, Kenzie. Tails and kick. Here we go. And he can't even win the toss, right? But Mills received anyways. So we got the smallest center logo in all of sports here. Pitt scores first. There goes Rutgers. So forget about these defenses. And remember, last week, RNG had the legacy drive of his life. But I don't see any Juice Cobbins. Not looking good here. 23-7. We need a comeback for Rutgers. They get 3 points. 30-10. It might be a splattering. There's faint hope here late. You got to score here, Kenzie, if you want it. And they go 3 and out. Can Kenzie save Christmas? They throw, or no, they punt it. And no, okay, so remember, we can't jump in unless they find a way to score here. It's been a nice drive. Oh my God, 3 straight penalties on the defense. 4th and 2, game on the line. RNG comes through again. And there it is. So here we go. A minute on the clock. Can Kenzie get another chance? Oh, it is! It is! Kenzie's gonna do it again. So 1 minute, 2 timeouts. They need a touchdown. Do we have another RNG legacy moment? The floaty to the corner, and it's caught! What a catch by Santiago Beachwood for 3 yards. Second and 7, there's 59 yards away. Desi Inman goes down. It's not looking good here for Rutgers. But they multiple times this year have done the unthinkable. Can they do it one more time? Dumps that off. Out of bounds. No, he's going to push. Oh, it's 4th and inches. Jamin Butler saving Christmas. 4th and inches, though. They didn't give him one more. 38 seconds and a dream. You got to give this to Cobbins. You have to give this to Cobbins. No, they don't! No! He throws it into the turf!
Pass interference. Defense.
No! He gets bailed again! You can't make this up!
Still first down.
What in the world? Kenzie gets bailed so much. He's getting all of the bad RNG back on his side here this season the last couple of weeks. There's just no way. There's no way. He's open! Here comes Rutgers! Mills is getting absolutely screwed. Oh, Mills is in shambles. 26 seconds in a dream. 26 seconds, an onside kick, a third down where the guy pushes like 12 yards, and then a pass interference on 4th down in this game alone. But they still need to get into the end zone. They hand it off to Juice Cobbins. What are you doing? Clock is ticking. It's not even Cobbins. Tyler Day. 3rd and 9. They snap it. Inman yams it. And, oh, he's caught. No, he's out. He couldn't get the toe in. Oh, no. Game on the line, 4th and 9. They hand it off to Day, and he's gonna get it! Oh my God. One more chance. 16 yards away. What is the call for Kenzie? Motion. 5 seconds left. The snap. Inman. He's open. And touchdown RNG again! Back-to-back weeks. He walks it off with 000. You cannot make this up. RNG. 2 weeks in a row, live walks it off. The extra point. I'm so sick. Oh, this is the worst loss of Mills' career. Oh, the amount of missed opportunities. RNG may just be the most clutch player of all time, because not only does he do this 2 weeks in a row, how the hell does he get into the end zone there? Nobody ever gets into the end zone on that type of a comeback route. What did we just watch? Rutgers outright football, baby. This might be the year for Rutgers. Kenzie +4, never a doubt. So, okay, onside kick, 3rd and long, the guy pushes 12 yards on the sideline. 4th and inches, they get it. Or they don't get it, pass interference. And then 4th down again, a delayed give gets them just enough. And then they get the game-winning touchdown. Look at this play. Okay, he's out. No, he's in! RNG, the greatest football player of all time, in the same exact spot, too, the far end zone. Incredible job from Kenzie. The RNG is back on his side, and he did it all without Juice Cobbins. That is an all-timer moment there. I didn't think last week's drive could get topped. Well, we just saw it. The scoring drive here. I mean, 21 unanswered to end the game. Doesn't get better than that. Desi Inman, 27 of 44, 304, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Juice Cobbins only had 13 touches. That's how you lose a game. But RNG, the true freshman, 10 receptions, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What an absolute beast. 10 tackles here. Years and years of bad RNG for Kenzie turning completely around in one drive. Tough day for Miles Tilley here. 18 of 27, 271. He no longer controls his own destiny to go back to the playoff. They gotta hope Rutgers loses another game. Trig Tugboat had 2 TFLs. He had 2 sacks. 1 interception. 3 deflections. No fumbles. And that is how you win the football game. Yeah, RNG, dude. Back-to-back weeks with 000 game-winning walk-off touchdowns where it would have been a loss. That's incredible. We rarely get to see that in a whole career, let alone back-to-back weeks. Talk about a Hall of Fame level player there. So that's a Rutgers outright victory here. People think I rig games. No, no, no. The blue square comes for everybody. If you don't do the right stuff, I mean, the blue square is going to screw you over. It's just how the world works. Mills knows it better than anybody. So Kenzie is a hero. The second most hated person in the server defeats the most hated person in the server. Alright, we move on. Time to go to, some would say this is a cocktail party, right? Georgia and Florida. So, Tribe, if you're here, let me know if you want specific jerseys. Moon wants playoff jerseys, but this is a 10-point favorite. I cannot believe that's how I would lose a game. That's how the Northwestern game felt to me. Congratulations, Kenzie. Hang the banner. And no, exactly. It's the Cash App. Kenzie sends $1 1 week ago, and he has back-to-back walk-off touchdowns. I'm not saying there's a correlation, but I'm not saying there's not. This might be the greatest return on investment of all time. For a $1 investment. Alright, here we go. Enough waffling. So we got Georgia, Florida. Florida still has a chance in the division, but they need Tennessee to lose again. So, we got 22 viewers. Thanks for joining in. The Mills Crash Out helping the viewership today. That's definitely one to go back and watch. That was hilarious. Might have to snip its own video for that. Alright, here we go. Quick score, 10-0 here for Georgia out of the gate. Florida needs to get their shit in gear. Florida's had a rough stretch here in October and November so far. They get 7 back. There you go. They take the lead right before half. Nicely done for Coach Tribe. He's trying to save Christmas. 21-10. Georgia, obviously, year 1. So, and oh my, is that 28 unanswered here? Oh, and they can't punch it in, so the door has been left open, not for long. And this is going to be a bludgeoning here late. Florida, can we get a backdoor cover? No, it's going to be Florida Gators dominating him here in the 41. Yeah, 41-10. There you go. That's your final. So, Florida with the cover. Mills, I cannot let you say that one, buddy. So, Florida with the -10. Congratulations. Yeah, not the best showing there for you. Matt Godard, 13-26, 152, 1 interception. That's a Scotty Bean stat line. 61 yards on the ground. Kazi led the way. 10 tackles for Kyle White. 3 TFLs for David Dortch. 2 interceptions. Florida Gators. What do you mean egregious? So, if you're saying that I don't have to worry about Mills again, buddy, you don't know Mills' lore. He's been on and off on the SFA since the beginning, so he will be back. We both know he will be. Mills leaving does not move me even an inch either way. Ladarius Quan Swamp, 16 tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, 4 total sacks. The pick from Don Moss. Yeah, I don't... People leave and come back all the time. The only thing that moves the needle is when Wisconsin loses, which happens a lot, but the only time I can get upset is when it's my team. Okay, Mills. I'll see you next week. Or at the very least, he'll be back by March Madness. So this is a Florida cover. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is with Mills. But, I mean, this is a worthy crash out. I let you guys crash out when it's deserved. If I lost like that to Kenzie, I would be ripping my hair out. So, I feel you, Mills. All right, Georgia, Florida. Now we got the Patreon game of the week. I thought this would be Watch Party, but it did not get voted. It got voted for stream. And we've got Big Booty Bloomington taking on Jay Jettas. Jay Jettas saved Christmas last week, defeating Michigan. So it doesn't look like he's going to get fired. Are you going to rock with, though, Michigan State? They are a favorite here, but Big Booty Bloomington, they're hanging around. Not only they're hanging around the bowl eligibility tree, Big Booty Bloomington's hanging around in this division. It's not impossible. So who are you rocking with? Is Big Booty going to get her done, or will it be Jay Jettas? Jay Jettas, if you're here, let me know what jerseys if you want them. And Nathan, thank you. Tails and kick already. Tonight's drink, we've got the Signature Select Concord Grape Flavored Sparkling Water. So not going with a graping ghost tonight, unfortunately. Except at the wedding this weekend, I did have Celsius for the first time in a million years, and that shit still tastes gross. KJ, it's best to just not talk to him. Let him just waffle in peace. All right, here we go. Indiana, Big Booty Bloomington. Can they get a critical win on the road? Sir Sproutburger, remember, he's entering the transfer portal at the end of the season. He could be your next quarterback, folks. And we've got snow. We love snow games here in November. Nothing better than a good old snow game. Hoping we get one for game day tonight. So here we go. Tails and kick for Big Booty. I like my girls. Big Booty Bloomington. All right, here we go. Even Nick. See, this is how good Indiana is. Nick is here. So a quick three here, Indiana. Here we go. Oh, nothing doing so far. Can they battle back? 3-0, man. Very, very interesting game so far. 14 unanswered for Big Booty. And they add a field goal before halftime. Indiana looking good, 20-10. Michigan State battling back. Can they find a way? They take the lead as we head to the fourth quarter. 24-20. We're going one drive at a time. A long drive here, and they add the points. We cannot jump in. It's 31-20 here. So we need Indiana to score to get it back to a possession. Not looking good, and that should do it. 31-20 is your final. They tried to hang on, but Michigan State here is going to wind up covering. So it looked good at the start, but the cold got to them. It's hard to shake booty for a whole 60 minutes. Stan Reisner puts the game away. So Serge Sproutberger, 30 of 55, 366 and 2 touchdowns. Throwing it 55 times in the snow is never going to get it done for you. They just could not run the ball. Jack Magoo led the way with receptions. Ritter had 103. Greenwood had 10 tackles, 3 TFLs. He added 2 more sacks. This guy dominating in the sack department this year. 2 deflections and 1 forced fumble. Lee Thomas, 22, 36, 306, 2 touchdowns here. Stan Reisner, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Three TFLs, 1 sack for Juwan Hooper, the number 1 recruit. 4 deflections and the fumble. So that will do it here for East Lansing. See, but Dogwater, you're arguing with him, so that would imply you're the virgin. So boom, roasted. Oh, my mouse died. Hold on. So this is a Michigan State cover for those of you guys scoring at home. All right, now everybody's favorite part of the week, the part of the week where Wisconsin loses. Another banner is about to be raised, this time at Kinnick Stadium. 6-2 Iowa taking on the 1-8 Wisconsin Baddies. And yes, that right column is the win department. We are 8-1 this week, or this year. So, here we go. This is how, if I'm not on stream, this is how we sim my games. Can we take down Iowa and take down Coach Jarkus, one of my favorite coaches in the SFA? No. He survived this time. Nice try there. So, not 7-2 for Iowa now. Congratulations. Never a doubt, we are now 1-9. Just a sorry year here for Wisconsin. So I gotta get my screenshots here. Hey, my kicker went 4 for 4. Hell yeah, brother. I'm at 12% now. Well, you know. I hope I get fired. I mean, yeah, I don't want to coach anymore. I'm done. The Wisconsin experiment is going to end after 2 years. I want to go home now. I want to retire. Go sit in my recliner. All right, now we start the second half slog of BearCave, and we need some more of these fun highlights. So, of course, wabam. Cash App. Kenzie cashed at me $1 a couple of weeks ago in 2 straight game-winning drives. There may be a correlation, there might not. It's up to you to test it for yourself. As we go to the Independents, your number 1 team in the nation, Coach Huey, taking on Army. Another critical game in the Independent circuit. This is a 12-point favorite here for ND. They did struggle a little bit with Navy. Navy kind of lost the game more than Notre Dame won it. So do you think Coach Fire can get her done? Let me know. And Huey, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. Huey wants to wear the pinstripes tonight. Alright, so we're going pinstripes here for Notre Dame, the #1 team in the nation. So get your Bobinas in. Mills, why don't you focus on recruiting instead of whining like a little weenie? Alright. Jahan Dotson, here we go. For good. ... Alright, can Notre Dame, the Independents, stay undefeated? 9-0. I don't know if they have the resume to be the #1 team in the playoff, but we will see. An undefeated record will do a lot for them. Don't see Yui, so as always, we go heads and kick. So zeros all the way around. And Notre Dame gets us started. Army, a long drive, gets 3 points. They're hanging in there early. Coach Fire Dogs trying to get a signature win in the independent circuit. Down 14, they got to start scoring touchdowns. You cannot settle for those field goals. They get a defensive stop, and they get one back. Things are looking good now. Notre Dame only up 2 scores here as we enter the 4th quarter. It's still only 2 scores. Can Army get it back? Not looking great, but they get the stop. Remember, we can only jump in if it's a 1-score game. And a pick 6, that's a long one from the end zone. Touchdown Notre Dame, and that should be the nail in the coffin. And Army gets it done. Congratulations. It was a 12-point spread, so that is going to be a cover for Notre Dame. So ND with the cover. Yeah, that interception, they had a chance there for a second. Yeah, the 100-yard touchdown return will do that for you. So Rico Giraldo, 22 of 39, 249, and 3 touchdowns. Pat Green, 129. Ivan Murray, the most receiving. And for the defense, 2 guys over 10 tackles, 5 TFLs for Stalling. They had 3 total sacks. The pick for Weidler and Rucker. Rucker took it back 100 yards. Ton of deflections and no forced fumbles. Tom Edwards, 23 of 47, 352, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Kevin Richardson, 17 for 64. He was also the leading receiver. And on defense, Walker Trapp, the SFA player. They had 7 total TFLs, 3 sacks. They hung in there for the majority of this game. Remember, if you take away that pick 6, it's only an 8-point win for Notre Dame. So, that game kind of feels like the Alabama-Tennessee game from real life this year. Game was a lot closer than it looks on paper. Alright, so that is a cover for those of you guys scoring your BearCaves at home. And we move on to the Big 12, where now with Missouri losing, all of a sudden all the cards are in Iowa State's favor. Surely they don't screw it up, right? So Schwartz, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a 13.5-point favorite against the Colorado Buffaloes. So he is here, tails and kicks. So with Missouri losing, this division is all back in Iowa State's favor. Colorado can really... I mean, Iowa State pretty much guaranteed to make the playoff, I think, regardless. But to win the Big 12, of course, get one of those higher seeds is super important. Remember, with the SFA, all 10 conferences get a team into the playoffs. So if you're like a top 6 seed, you're practically guaranteed a cupcake first round game or that bye. So every win matters. You don't want to be in one of those like 7-10, 8-9 matchups. Those are the worst. So here we go. Tails and kick for Coach Schwartz. Cleat Peppers, of course. This feels like the last year for a big time, like, championship caliber team. At least, like, championship caliber favorites here. Obviously, they're still going to have an amazing defense, but they're not going to have that three-headed monster on the offensive side that you can just rely on to get you out of any situation. So here we go, Folsom Field. Ray J. Butler going to hold like virtually every record in all the books once he's gone. 6-2 versus 7-1. Can Colorado get it done? Quick 7-0 start here for Iowa State. Nice defensive stop, though, there for Colorado. Can they finish the job and get some points on the board? Gotta rely on Mashburn here. And they are, I mean, the defense has been amazing. Oh, they got 14 in a row. I don't know how that second touchdown happened, but it's tied up here midway through the fourth quarter. We got a game. Iowa State takes the lead. Can Colorado battle back yet again? And no, an interception for Johnny Snot. That might just be the game, but they get the stop there. They need another big-time drive, and they don't get it. We're going to go one play at a time here. A score will probably end it for Iowa State. It's fourth down, and the field goal is no good. So here comes Colorado. They have their chance. They're at midfield, down by 7 against number 2 in the nation. Quick option. Johnny Snot can't get it out there. What a year for Johnny Snot. He's had issues with injuries the entire Moon tenure. Moon leaves, and he starts actually putting up some decent numbers. 3rd and 5. They have Rayton Mashburn as well still. Johnny Snot has some time and dumps that off to Reddick, one of the best players on this team, and he will be short. They'll have to go for it here. So currently a no cover for Iowa State. 4th and 2, game pretty much on the line. They go back to that triple option. They'll hand it to the up man. Down he goes. So now they'll have to rely on the timeouts here. So a first down should end this game for Iowa State. The handoff to Greg Cooper. He breaks one, goes down. Colorado felt like they had a chance here. They were unable to capitalize. And a long touchdown here would be a backdoor cover. Handoff, and it's Greg Cooper again, another first down. Colorado still calling those timeouts, even though the game is pretty much out of hand. Victory formation. It will come down to what they do on that 3rd down. Will they run a real play here? That is the question. Yes, they will. So 3rd and 14. If this stops the clock, Colorado has a chance. They'll hand it off here to Greg Cooper. They got to force a fumble, and they can't. So that should do it. Iowa State will win, but they will no cover. But all that matters is the final score. Congratulations. This was a 50% spread there, but Colorado with the cover. We'll pay you guys out. So 21-14 is your final. Iowa State stays at 1 loss. They'll sit atop the the rankings and the standings here in the Big 12. Fleet Peppers is your player of the game. We got 2 games left on this BearCave slate before we go to some action for the game day. 21-14 is your final. So some interesting results today. I don't know how to feel about this BC slate so far. Nothing crazy happened outside that Rutgers game. So Ray J. Butler, and it was a returned fumble, so somebody put it on the turf. So Clete Peppers, 17-27, 228, 2 tutties. Greg Cooper had 101 yards and a touchdown. And they held Ray J. Butler in check, but he did get a tutty. On defense, Wilson and Madison over 10 tackles, 6 TFLs for Wilson, 4 total sacks. The interception for Jacoby Parsons, really what did him in. And no fumbles. And for Colorado, Johnny Snott, 14-24, 180, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Rayton Mashburn couldn't get anything going on the ground. We kind of saw that live. Nobody could really do anything. And they had to rely on the defense. Almost got it done. This is a good team this year, but just not quite upper echelon playoff quality. But they should make a bowl game here. And that will do it. Clete Peppers is your player of the game. Only SFA player here. Andre Wilson, big time day. So this is an ISU no cover if you're scoring at home. We only got 2 games left. So first one is we've got the Red River rivalry here in the Big 12. Critical game. Cross-divisional, of course. Big 12 South still wildly in play, so do you sleep if you're here? Let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. And this is a Texas 3-point favorite on the road. Been a very up and down year for Texas so far, as they're trying to get back to the playoff. Not looking good. They got to win the division. They got to hope Texas A&M stumbles. Yeah, you're exactly right, Fi. Not much hating anymore over here. I don't see anything from D-Sleep, so we'll just jump in with heads and kick. Some not so great numbers here on that left-hand side for Texas, but all that matters is the score sheet. And Oklahoma kind of falling off here from their former days, their dynasty. But here we go. It's the Texas State Fair, and everything's looking great. Sequavius Bunkersfield, RB, once again plays football today. So here we go. Red River rivalry, 7-0. 10-0 for Texas. Okay, so Oklahoma not doing anything early. They get one back in the second quarter. Texas long drive does nothing with it. 10-7 at the break. Currently a cover for Texas. They extend the lead. Oklahoma gets a field goal. Felt like they should have scored on that one. And they stall out on downs. It's back to a 10-point lead. We can't jump in unless they find a way to score. And an interception there on the end zone. Another pick to seal a game. So unless they can score very quickly here, it's all but over. They do get the field goal. So 55 seconds. They do have all of their timeouts. Can we see a second onside kick today on BearCave? And it's caught by Texas. And Paulo Nakos gets it. Thought he might have fumbled there at the end. So 3 timeouts for Oklahoma. Game on the line. A first down will do it. Handoff. No, it's Bunkersfield RB. He cuts upfield and he'll get the first with ease. Sometimes it pays to have a quarterback that can run the ball. So Texas cover. Of course, he has that Heisman Trophy. All right, KJ and Mills, please get that shit out of my chat. I'm kind of tired of reading it. So that should do it. I love that the assistant coach has the arm sleeves. So they will have to snap it though on 4th down here. So not completely over. They do have to kick the field goal, so if they miss it, there's a chance. You're the one doing it, KJ. What do you mean? What a hilarious fumble this would be if he misses the field goal and they score. I'm playing pre-recorded video? Okay. Oh, man. Pre-recorded video. Alright, so that will do it. Texas gets it done in the Red River rivalry. A 10-point win. That is a cover. So congratulations there to Coach D-Sleep. Keeps his hopes alive in the Big 12 as a 3-loss team. You never know what can happen in these games. As we got 1 game remaining here before we head to a Maction game day. So these divisions starting to take a bit more shape week by week. Bunkersfield is your player of the game. He had 100 yards receiving, 187 passing. As he puts on the cowboy hat. Please drive home safely. Still cannot believe all of the lucky stuff. And man, that was actually close to being a miss. All right, 23-13 is the final here. A lot of field goals on the day. Bunkersfield went 13-20. He had a touchdown and a pick, but he was the leading rusher as well. So once again, this team lives and dies by Zaquavius Bunkersfield. Feels a lot like kind of like the real life Ravens with Lamar Jackson. They did have 7 sacks and Michael Reed with the pick. So defense did come to play for them. No forced fumbles though. And for Oklahoma, Jermaine Romero, 18-32, 268. Campbell had 71 yards. And their only SFA player, Otter Stratton, had 2 for 34. And Scott had 10 tackles, 6 total TFLs, no sacks. They did have 1 pick for Heron, 2 deflections, and 1 forced fumble. So Texas with the cover here. We got 1 game remaining. My day, I just went to work and then came to stream. Very uninspiring day. Alright, so final game in the stream is a rematch of the Season 18 National Championship. Sirlaxis Brio and Washington. Of course, for Sirlaxis Brio, this season has just not gone according to plan. They are down to their third-string quarterback. No more big Bible Bob Rubshaw. And Washington, man, they have struggled this year. They had, they're only a one-loss team. But, man, they have been struggling. They struggled with multiple teams this year. They look very beatable. So, we thought this was going to be a shoe-in game day. It is not. It's your main event of stream, though, for BearCave. 2-point favorite still for Washington. Still a very powerful team in UNC. So, let me know who you're rocking with. Sirlaxis Brow, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. Still trying to make a bowl game. Washington trying to make it back to back. They got Bo Bullet. So, still a lot on the line here. It does feel like we're going to have a new national champion, though. It just feels like, when is Washington going to let the wheels fall off the bus? The defense just not putting up the same numbers this year. So here we go. The Pacific Northwest. And we will see UNC first. They've been in 2 of the last 3 national championships. They will not get back this year unless some drastic things happen, but it's 7-0 here early. UNC, they can't score, so Washington's defense holding strong while the offense sputters. And a quick touchdown for North Carolina. So 7-all here as we go into the fourth quarter. UNC leads. Can UNC, who loses the national championship on 5 Bob Rubshaw interceptions, get it back by practically eliminating Washington from the at-large race? This would be cinema, as we're going to go one play at a time here for both sides. This one coming down to the wire as always. UNC 10, Washington 7. UNC has the rock. They've got to get the stop, and they do. So here we go. Washington has the ball at the 14. They need a touchdown. A field goal will extend the game. Here's Bo Bullet. He yams it left side, and it's caught to start the drive. Beautiful catch by Adrian Mack. He had a massive game in the New Heights Classic against Iowa State, where they choked that game away. And now Bo Bullet goes down. He gets sacked there. They're bringing the heat there. Amiko Wafo, the SFA player. So minute 26, they've all their timeouts. Cinch Brown in the backfield. Drasco Rose is healthy. Guy Yacht in motion, the SFA player. Another blitz. He dumps that off, and he gets 2 yards out of it, but Bo Bullet's pissed at his offensive line, not holding up. And 3 interceptions today for Bo Bullet. This defense is just owning him. Not great. A home loss to UNC. And they find the first down. Dumps that off. It's caught. He gets about half of it back. So here we go. 4th and 7. Game on the line. Your defending national champions on the ropes. Bo Bullet fakes the handoff, rolls right, he has room, he throws left, open man, tipped away! UNC! You lose your easily Hall of Fame quarterback for the season, and you don't give up, especially against a team that took a natty from your hands. They'll hand it off to Hulk Hogan. All he needs is a first down. And a 10-7 winner here for UNC would do wonders. They've got victory formation. It's going to come down to that third down play. Washington can get the ball back here. They'll have maybe a second or two, but you know Jarasco Rose can do virtually anything. And they will just sit on it here. Do not count out Washington. They have Jarasco Rose, one of the greatest wide receivers of this generation. And they're going for it. So if they don't get this, guys, it's going to be in yam range. If they do not get this, they will be in yam range. Bo Bullet has an arm on him. Oh my God. Here we go. 4th and 8. Can UNC knock off the defending champs? He drops back. The third string QB hits his man. The absolute dagger to Mike Manning. Joey Gray gets it done. He has 3 interceptions himself. And that will do it. UNC gets to celebrate. They have knocked off the defending national champs. Another upset here on BearCave. 10-7 is your final. It wasn't pretty, but they leaned on the defense. Still a national championship caliber defense, and they got her done. William Heath got 5 TFLs and 2 sacks, and Washington is sick to their stomachs. So that just ended Washington's at-large hopes, probably. 17% of you guys, thanks for coming out Dogwater with your Bobanos. Make sure to DM me your raffle ticket, Jarkus, otherwise I will not remember. So just DM me that you claimed one. So we'll check out the stats, and then we'll check out next week's slate before we head over to Maction for game day. We got Eastern Michigan and Ohio Mania. Alright, Dogwar, you can't say that. You can say that in my DMs. You can't say that in the chat. Just an incredible scoring summary there. 3 line items. Joey Gray, 21 of 40, 308, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Hulk Hogan, 65 yards on the ground. Neither team could do much today. They had 1 big play to save Christmas, and they got it. 5 TFLs for Heath. He dominated. 4 total sacks, 3 interceptions. Of course, all the big players from their former teams. Kemba McLeod, 1 fumble, 1 recovery. And Washington, Bo Bullet, not a good day for him. 69 quarterback rating, 14 of 33, 177, 3 interceptions. And Rodney Robinson, 105. So Cinch Brown not even playing. 16 tackles, 6 TFLs for Ben Gonzalez, the sack for Grant. 3 total interceptions. 2 deflections, the forced fumble for Ben Gonzalez. And that will do it. Alright, so we'll check out next week's slate. Remember, no more restrictions on game day voting. So we'll have the best games available as we're on the road to the conference championships. And that's a UNC outright victory for those of you guys betting on at home. So our final game of this week is going to be in the MAC. Undefeated Eastern Michigan taking on Ohio Mania. Let's just make sure it is the final one. Yes, it is. Number 17 in the nation. And this is what it looks like for next week. Georgia Tech, Florida State, likely for the division here. That is going to be a very impactful game. Probably will end up being game day. Texas Tech A&M is probably for the division. Northwestern Indiana, that's a great one. Oregon State, Washington, UTSA, and Tulane, Auburn, Tennessee. Likely for the division, so a lot of big-time games next week. Got the Heroes game, a legendary game in its own right here in the SFA. Stanford, Arizona, likely for the division. So, man, we got like 4 or 5 divisions on the ropes next week. And, of course, this one, if Eastern Michigan wins it, this will be cross-division, though, so not as impactful. Maryland can clinch this division soon. My, how Baylor has fallen. Such a shame. Iomania. Missouri looking to bounce back after a just dreadful loss. Rutgers and Louisville, another critical game for Rutgers, 7-2. East Carolina and Cincinnati, that's a historic rivalry there. This one's super important for Pitt. So that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to BearCave. It was a fantastic slate. I'm going to take about 5 minutes, get game day set up, and we'll be back for Eastern Michigan and Ohio Mania. Peace, peace.